Good afternoon and welcome to your weekly current affairs program. It is 60 minutes Nigeria. And apologies for commencing the program slightly behind schedule. My name is Ego Salmonao. I must say that today's program promises to be exciting, educative, enlightening. A lot has happened in Nigeria, and we have very distinguished personality with us to dissect the topic that we have. We have a former labor leader in Edo State and a highly revered clergyman, Reverend Ulu Adele. Nice to have you, sir, today.
Thank you. Good afternoon, viewers.
Okay, we also have with us a distinguished lecturer and, of course, a social commentator, Dr. Maxwell. Nice to have you with us today.
Thank you,
okay. We have with us an ambassador of peace and also President United in Democracy, Pressure Group, and a very seasoned analyst, Andrew. With us. Nice to have you today.
Good afternoon, viewers. Thank you for having me.
So, the topic we are looking at, state of the nation. A lot is happening in Nigeria, but we'll just break it down, looking at failure of governance and underdevelopment. They go pari passu. Don't forget that only recently the social media was awash, the public space was also dominated with this discussion when a former Sultan of Secretary, a former CBN Governor Sanusi made a public statement that Nigeria is in the doldrum because of the failure of governance. In other words, Nigeria would have been better if the political leaders, the public office holders, those who were elected by the electorate, by Nigerians, to steer to take charge of the affairs of the country, if they had done well, Nigeria would have been among the highly regarded countries who are reputed to have enjoyed dividends of democracy, improved welfare, improved GDP, and of course, better standard of living. So that's the foundation, and we're going to start with Reverend Ulu because he was one of those who actually spearheaded the fight of labor, putting pressure on the government to ensure welfare of workers, indirectly welfare of Nigerians. So how would you look at the state of the nation right now?
Well, thank you.
Okay.
The state of the nation called for is in a sorry state, a state of lamentation, a state that father and mother cannot be together, a state or a nation that disorganized families. And the moment the family is disorganized, every other person are in problems. We are in a sorrowful or pitiable situation in the country of Nigeria now. By the grace of God, next year by April I will be 73. But I have never experienced what is going on now, where because of insecurity, poverty, father begin to sell the mother, and mother begin to sell our children for money to survive. It has not been so. And you look at it, the beginning of it, the military bastardized this nation and they make things worse. The foundation of the country was destroyed. They killed some of them. Those who survived, they are no more alive. You can see that at the time that when you have more than 3 certificates, they will beg you to come and teach. But for now, many of our students, our children, they have graduated for 10, 15 years, no work, even a messenger job. So things that are turned around, the center can no more hold. A situation where the engine room of the nation has been destroyed, then the body cannot stand. Babangida destroyed civil service, both state and national. When you were having permanent secretary, he politically destroy the system and bring out DG. And the DG will not be accountable. It's only the commissioner that will be accountable. You can see how the things started going wrong. Then introduction of corruption begin to explode and expanded and explode. To this stage, civilians that took over, they are worst because our founding father work was destroyed. And coming to look at it, the present, let us to short the story, the present situation we find ourselves, the politicians, they are for their personal pockets. They are not for the masses. They are only for themselves. Where somebody that is working in government can have 1 point something billion or 2 something billion, and nobody can account for, nobody can arrest him. The corruption has taken place and overruled the nation that gave back to the present insecurity that we have. And a nation that cannot be able to be active to curb insecurity, then it's equal to what? Poverty. And when poverty continues to spread, it becomes poverty and insecurity work hands in hand. Until we can be able to curb this, when we are looking for the future, because for now, nobody can eat. For now, you see, what happened before we have not had it worse than the present leadership of the nation. Because they told us they want to curb corruption, that they are more than, if you have other name, they are more than corruption. And look at it. When they started, they came coercing, harassing people. They start with the judiciary. They make sure they weaken the system that can talk. The judiciary was weakened, and they too, you can find out many things that is going on in judiciary for now. If some people at the end of affairs who are supposed to say the truth, you can see charges and level of corruption against them. Why can a nation move forward? The present serving appeal court judge was accused of buying a vehicle for 600 million, one vehicle. How do you now get justice in that area? A situation where in those days, you've seen our judges, named people, respected men and women. You don't see them mixing with politicians. But now you find out that the governor begin to charter plane and helicopter to go and visit judges at home. How do you get justice? So our problem started right away from all this, especially the present ruling class. Corruption has taken over the nation, and the military has also been corrupted. They have been politicized and nothing gone. Go to House of Assembly. It is now that some of them came out, they want to impeach the president. Where were they? What were they doing? They know that they have lost out. They want the gate to come in. We have the worst regime since inception of this country. And I think that's why we find ourselves in the situation of kidnapping. When there's no security, people will now go ahead and kidnap people and make money and connive with the politicians. That's where we are. And I don't think the way we can go out of it, well, maybe we progress, I will know that we are in this sorry and sorrowful situation, except we change all these leaders.
Okay.
So that some people are aspired. They cannot more be in the system.
Thank you. I can see that Reverend Lou is very emotional. And like I told you, he was among leaders many years ago who fought for the welfare of workers. So you can see how emotional he is, that after so many years, Nigeria is still backward. Well, still talking about the highly respected Sanusi, he made a statement. He said those who are educated, the lecturers, they should not leave Nigeria. Everybody should stay to develop Nigeria. President Barry just recently also said, oh, the unity of Nigeria is sacrosanct. People must collectively develop Nigeria. So while we lecture in our midst, Dr. Basu Osangi, looking at the state of the nation, what's your take vis-a-vis the exodus of, or let me just say, the brain drain, people leaving Nigeria, going abroad to contribute to the development of other countries instead of their country?
Yeah, Awosa, thank you. It's a very fundamental question, and talking about the state of the nation. And no society developed without a better attribute of the educational system. You know a nation by their institution. Now, if in this regards, I'm talking about the academic institution. Now, when you look at the world ranking of Nigeria, at the world university, it will amaze you that we are in a big problem as a nation. Now, and there's one thing about study. Study is universal. It's not local. Now, because study is universal, and everyone is in a state of trying to make themselves relevant in the area where they've been called to serve academically. Now, when we do research, we do research by way of collaboration. Those that are here and those that are outside here and everything. Now, in the course of our research as a scientist, there are several things that we are not opportune to have. And certain research you actually want to carry out, you just discover that you are limited by several factors. And the one you are collaborating with outside this country seems to be having more data to play with, while you are just struggling to arrive at a valid conclusion. However, some of us still take it upon ourselves to spend our hard-earned money to get to the last result of that particular research, so as to provide such findings for the benefit of the society. Now, this is where it gets messy. Now, have you done your best to ensure that your evaluation is stable before the public? Your result is given to the public. At least the first point of call is that the reason why those findings are made open is that government should be able to read and draw conclusions from there. That look at the research that was conducted and look at the recommendation. Let's see how we can harness all these recommendations together and see how we can develop a blueprint from them. Now, the Nigeria government that we know, or another Nigeria institution all over, cares less about the findings you see in university. And I bet you, for every result you find, every solution you look for in Nigeria degraded society lies in university. Year in, year out, you see different research being performed and findings are being made. Government looked nothing into those aspects. Now, why would there be brain drain where someone would just do little of what is not even half of yours, is having a breakthrough because someone is interested in taking it further? Now, these are the reasons why you see many of our kinds are leaving this country just to seek for greener pasture and make themselves more known. Now, but however, having said that, it's not a yardstick, because a society will not develop by we running away from it. As a young boy, as a small boy at the age of 12, 10, I used to listen to Reverend as a small boy, 10. Now, I used to follow him on labor matter. As someone that is vast in governmental issues and societal issues, because I developed such interest much more earlier as a small boy. Now, I'm sitting with Reverend Olu today, still discussing the same issue.
Same problem.
Same problem that Reverend fought when I was 10 years old. I was watching him.
It's a pitiable situation.
We are still discussing it. Now, we have government without a blueprint. Now, we know a society. Now, look at what is happening in Britain right now. Why do you see people moving with their family? Just because of the visa to you or your family. If they give you visa, you are married, come with your family. Now, it didn't just happen overnight. Now, it was calculated that it will get to this level when the Brexit issue came up. Now, having done the Brexit matter, they knew that they need more power. Now, the reason why they need more power is because The Europe thing is no longer there because they want to sustain their economy. As such, they made it open. And everybody is rushing it and everything. I'm not a fan of running away from crisis. I believe in solving it and everything. Now, having said that, because Britain understand that a few years' time they will have crisis, they make plans. Now, we just have a government who sit down perpetually, whether local government, well, there is no local government in this country any longer.
No,
there is no local government in this country. Let us not try to create a system that will suppress the actual fact of what we could see. I'm a realist. Everybody knows. I say my mind whether you like it or not. Now, there is no local government in this country. The local government you see are just a kind of an appointment made by different governors. Yeah, so that's what you see. Now, I can tell you, I drove into a local government. Towards evening, no gate man. Nothing. I drove into local government around after 5. Now, I stayed there. I was waiting for someone. I stayed there for like 1 hour, 30 minutes. Nobody came to ask me, who are you? A local government office. I don't want to mention the local government. Okay. Nobody came to ask me, who are you and everything. And I said to myself, this is a government house. Just like the state government house. Nobody. Yeah. So if I've decided to use one plier, remove 5 AC that day, I will just leave, JJ, according to our guys. Now, the point I'm trying to make is this. There's a big problem. And the big problem is this, that an average Nigeria, I was discussing with someone yesterday, an average Nigeria is not just 90% greedy, we are 95% greedy. Now, the greediness in us has eaten us so deep because the foundation that was laid many years ago, we've seen that foundation still remains perpetual because people benefited from it. So automatically it has become a lifestyle for all of us. So we believe in that national cake. Nobody among the political class as we speak is interested in the development of the nation. What they are in there for is just the sentiment perspective. Now, when you see those supporting even those that they are packaging for us now, you are supporting someone that they are packaging for you, you know that they are packaging that person. That person as we speak, it was even revealed in a way that the age is beyond the one is being that is being claimed. Now, and you see that person on a daily basis, that this person cannot, because we are talking about ruling over 200 million Nigeria. For individual, for we to rule our different houses where we have mother, 3 children. Because you know how difficult it is. Talking about ruling over 200 million Nigerians. And you are packaging someone that you know by sitting down after thinking just Gobe State alone is enough for somebody to faint. Now, I think we should leave this sentiment for at least for once. Let's just agree that there is a problem in this country. It's not all about our pocket any longer. It's all about the collective responsibility to make our country viable just like any other country. Because indeed, we cannot continue to live like a third world country forever. Now, what I know about country is that there is a progression. Every country has a blueprint. We will get here today, tomorrow we hope to get here, next tomorrow we hope to get here. Now, outside Nigeria, if you even go to the different states, there is no government that even have a blueprint that in the next 2 years I want to create this number of that in the next 10 years. But what you just see is that they just got to read paper for you, telling me manifesto. See, if any politician address us this time and say, I have manifesto, it's not manifesto we want to hear. All we want to see is that we want to see what? Like, okay, fine. Nigeria, we decided to vote massively for this current government in Edo State. But what we are saying right now, is it what we bargain for? Now, it's not also voting are the bad ones we are talking about. The good ones that we have voted into office, what have they translated themselves into? Now, they've also looked at those bad ones that we remove. And they've said, okay, nothing happened. Automatically, they have not classified themselves in that manner, creating a problem that we thought you will create. What we see in this state right now, can you attribute any good thing to it right now? I just drove from a K1 road. Yes, I just drove from a K1 road. Yes. When I knew when that the K1 road was awarded, I drew all the way from Obage down to this place right now. And I asked myself, is this the government that we voted for? That we massively.
So it's a gradual thing.
I want to ask you a question. Yeah. If you give me money to buy you a material, I'm asking you, you give me money to buy you a material, and you're asking me to deliver that material in the next 2 hours, and I fail to deliver that material in the next 2 hours. If you don't ask why I fail to deliver that material in the next 2 hours, it means that contract, you have hand in it. Is it that the money you gave to me is not even enough for me to buy that material? Now I said this before. When it was Abacha that said it. When an insurgent lasts for more than 24 hours, someone hand is involved politically or in government.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Master.
Thank you.
I'm to ask the question, but I must quickly add that what you're saying now will surely investigate and find out what's the reason for the delay in the project completion. But the good thing is, yes, the road construction at the Kema Road has got into an appreciable state. Some part of
we said no appreciable state. I'm just coming from that. I'm talking from a real angle. There is no appreciable state there. The road you are talking about is not a part of it. It's just this thing there. We are talking about a straight road.
But all that used to be bad. So it's a gradual thing. They are moving on. But all the same, we investigate. Let's get the talk of Ambassador of Peace, Andre Igaloa. A lot has happened in Nigeria, the state of the nation. And somebody who speaks and people are forced to listen has spoken. That's the former Sultan, also go to former CBN governor, who has attributed Nigeria's problems to failure in governance. Political office leaders did not deliver. What's your take?
Well, first and foremost, I have to thank you for having me in this program.
Thank you. You're welcome.
If you say Nigeria is in a sorry state, it's an understatement.
Okay.
It's in a deadly state. Why am I saying this? You know, the cause of Nigeria problems are we Nigerians. There's a philosophy I propounded. Happy are thou that I enjoy, and you know that you are enjoying. It's a philosophy. There are some people, your life is smooth, you are enjoying your life, you still lament. You are not satisfied. And that is the state we are now in Nigeria. Let me take you back to like 7 years ago, when former President Jonathan was in power.
Yes.
PDP was in power. The same Nigerians, then, petrol was 87 per liter, bag of rice was 7,000, you were not having difficulty in paying your house rent. I knew some of my friends that relocated from abroad to come home, to come and establish in this country. But the same Nigerians started shouting the slogan, change. They've seen the change. Why are they shouting? So what I say is that we Nigerians are the problem of Nigeria. Look at it, like what he said. Nigeria, in every country, the stages of development is being atomized. You follow it step by step till you get there. Now, Jonathan came up with constitutional amendments, restructuring. About 400,000 intellectuals, distinguished Nigerians were asked to recommend for this country, how this country can move forward. They were being paid, billions of naira was spent on that project. They didn't allow Jonathan to finish. And that is the problem we are facing today, that constitutional amendment that the APC government threw under the carpet. Let me tell you, you don't just come into power with your own style. Even in small organizations, you run it by constitution. Not until the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is changed or amended. We are still where we are, even if they call it obedient or disobedient. When anybody that comes to power must make reference to the constitution, according to the constitution. And our constitution is porous. Not until you amend that constitution, Nigeria will not get headway. I remember when President Jonathan was there, Nigeria was the fastest growing economy in Africa. We were 10th in the world.
Andre, I must interject, but please continue after this break, just to allow us to take the headlines.
Okay.
you back after that short break. It's always a delight to know that you are really there enjoying 60 minutes with us, a current affairs program. We are looking at the state of the nation. The state of the nation is encompassing security, education, economy, a lot as far as Nigeria as a country is concerned. Andre Iweluwa made his opening remarks, and they actually bemoaned the state of the nation. We'll just allow him to continue with his comments.
Yes, as I was saying, he said, you know, when a particular country or your family, you are doing well, instead of you to know that my family is okay or my country is okay, continue to lament. And the problem we are facing, like I said, is with we Nigerians. Look at the insecurity situation we are finding ourselves today. Was it like this 8 years ago? Though there was some, sketches of insecurity, but like it is now, you can't even sleep and keep your eyes closed. They were clamoring, it's a former general in the army. He can fight insecurity. What are we getting now? Fine. Those of us in the south, we are still okay, but go to the north. You cannot walk and close your eyes. Just recently, I organized a tournament whereby expatriates came from all over the world. They were scared to go to the north. I had to put pressure on them to convince them that Edo State is free of crime, that they should come. I have to put pressure on them before they finally came. That is the situation we find ourselves in Nigeria now. I, for one, if I was a foreigner, I wouldn't come to Nigeria. Based on what I've heard about the country and the insecurity and the lifestyle of everybody, I won't come, no matter the business. I would diversify it. So, what am I saying? Not until the constitution is amended and that recommendation that was given to Nigeria is brought out and attended to or adjusted, Nigeria cannot move forward. In that constitution recommendation, tackling of corruption was inside. Insecurity, ethnicity, quota system, they were all amended. Now, in a country where the constitution allows for plea bargain, when you steal government money, they will tell you take half and give us half, and you go free. Is that a country? How is such a country going to move forward with such constitution? So basically, like I said, the first point of moving Nigeria forward is to amend our constitution. Whether PDP, PROP, ACP is coming, that should be their paramount first priority to change our constitution. And like I said, it is the constitution that determines, that runs any government, not you as an individual. You have no right.
Okay, thank you very much. Come back to you. Reverend Adegbe, yes, 2023 election is fast approaching. And before now, we didn't know of a third force. But now we have a third force. I agree that there are other political parties too making waves in their own corner. But you can't rule out one Peter Obi now of the Labour Party. And of course, we have very prominent names too. Tinubu of the APC and Atiku of the PDP. The Kwakwaso of the NPP. So there are, this election, Nigerians are really looking for. Do you think that this 2023 election will be the solution to Nigeria's problems?
Well, yes, in many ways.
Okay.
Because if there's no leadership, there will be no any amendments. One, Nigeria should vote their conscience. Two, we should forget about my cousin or relations. By the grace of God, there will be 2023. But who do you vote for? Is it a man or the party that have kept you in hunger, that allow, like the two speakers have said, you allow our university lecturer to be on strike for how many, almost a year now, and nothing is going on? Or a situation where somebody have brought in, spent his money and bringing investors to help the nation, they are afraid because of insecurity. So we should look who is the right person, not somebody going to almost directing his age to be 60. You can't hide age. You can't hide money. God is go quarter to his grave at 80 something, and your relation confirm that you are above the social age. Is that type of a man, like he has said, that you are packaging before you move out. You have to involve many directions and many unknown soldiers will follow such a man. So Nigeria should be wise this time around. Two.
Just that we are not aware of that kind of person.
No, we are truth. Or a man that is in Nigeria where there's problem, if you win election, if you lose election, you go to Dubai and stay. After election is come again, you want to run the nation in exile. Just look at it. Or the one the man, we have some name. Some of the vice president now, they were the originator. They were fingered in this Boko Haram. They were fingered in Boko Haram issues. And we made no, they confirm too. So for now such a man want to become a vice president of a nation, or a man who is just coming, who we have a place, a state that he has led before, and there was, workers were paid, found out in this country today, in one of them who took 100 million to fulfill form, has not paid his worker for the month of 1 year, and is still paying 18,000 minimum wage. And such a governor travel from here to London to America every time. The workers are suffering. Some governors are here also anywhere. They have not even paid the pensioners. They are owing salaries, but they on pinch of newspaper they are the Hosanna. Is that such a party or person you want to vote for? They should look at a man who has, represented himself and pay workers, and the people of the state then were good. So pray, you have to cast your vote. I'm not campaigning for anybody. Yeah. Cast your vote like we have all discussed. The state of the nation is a mess. Who want to bring us up? The man, let us try, because we talk about change, we all clap our hands, but there is no change anywhere. So okay, we are now coming again for another regime. 2023 will be realistic. People know that we cannot continue in this suffering. Like I said, there should not be our problem to our own selves. So let's say we try a new hand. Let us try somebody who have tried before that we know, so that we can invest in a fertile land. You will sow a seed. Even when you are sowing a seed, you must sow a seed on the ground that is fertile. So 2023, everybody must open their eyes and know that today we can be able to record. Before you know, Naira was pounds was 1 to 1 we're losing pounds. Naira will almost the same, equal to.
That was in the early 60s.
Yes. You cannot see that.
Even in the 80s.
It's in the 80s, but now you find out that 700 Nigeria is equal to 700 Nigeria is equal to 1 America. Can we continue like that? We are hungry, and at the same time, the man who want to lead us will not be dumb and deaf. Because yes, you cannot advise dumb and deaf. Somebody that people are dying, you cannot make a statement, and you are just ruling the nation on air, propaganda. You don't advise dumb and deaf. I think Nigerians should wake up and put their votes, cast their vote to a man that want to serve the public, a man that want to carry people along, a man that he will obey the voters. Yeah. That is the area we are going back. We should not continue in this. We are indebted. We continue to hold them. Look, I mean, a man that will not drag us to indebtedness. Nigeria is the next child in your womb is owing more than $7,000. How will we pay? It is true. We are in an indebted nation, and we are still borrowing more. So we should open our eyes for 2023 to be realistic. But who do we vote for? According to my father-in-law, do we vote for this Uruguays? Cannot continue to do like that.
Okay, we'll come back to you, Dr. Maxwell. Yes. Now, 2023, if it is believed that Nigeria will change in 2020, but before I ask Dr. Maxwell, let me quickly state that the opinions expressed on this program are personal to our guests and not of the station. You must understand that. Okay. Now, Dr. Maswell, now don't you think Nigerians will always be Nigerians? In 2023 general election, once funds are released by the different political parties, don't you think the tune will change, the song, Nigerians will begin to respond to what they are used to, and that is money politics.
Yeah.
Don't you think so?
Rosa.
It's taking you time to answer because you know the nature of an average Nigerian.
I pause because your question you just raised has to. I remember having a discussion with my mom. I just lost my mom.
Oh, please accept.
Just a few days ago.
Accept our sympathy.
Thank you very much. My mom is very active market-wise.
Okay.
They are the market leaders.
Okay.
So I remember having discussion with her before she died. We were saying, and I asked, I said, Mommy, because I have a way of knowing market choice when it comes to politics. So I use that a lot as a case study.
Yeah.
So I was like, this election that is coming, what is the view of the market women? So, Vivian, you know what that means?
Yeah.
My son. A cup of rice, right now, do you know how much it is? A rubber of oil, do you know how much it is? Now, the market women are crying, lamenting on a daily basis that this is not the time where they will collect wrapper. You know, as they used to do it, give their wrapper, say vote for one person. That right now in market is not only bad, all of you follow me. Everybody to your tent, O Israel. Now that's a testimony to the fact that those politicians who think that money politics will always be, because I've told you before, it's a strategy by the Nigerian political class.
Yeah.
Starve the people. 4 years after I've released the money, they will vote for you again. And I also want to make it known, there has never been an election in Nigeria.
I disagree with you. How do you mean?
Okay. What I meant by there has never been an election in Nigeria, you can tell. Morisi, who was, Abi?
Yes.
Huh? You knew the election he conducted. Could you, even the world, have to say that this is not an election? Thank you. There was an election that brought Yaradua into office. And Yaradua said, this is not an election. I'm quoting, sir. Now, if the people who the election brought into office says that this is not an election, why are you not saying there was an election in Nigeria? I'm talking based on analysis here. Now, reason being that we used to see where you invade the polling unit, turn things around because the electoral act was then favoring them. Now, since the do election, you started seeing an election in Nigeria. The only election I could state here categorically that was an election that reflected the minds and the wishes of the people was the AKO, Abiola, and Kingibe. That was the only election that reflected the actual right. And guess what? Because it reflects the actual right of Nigeria, the same political class they allow it be. That's why I told you much earlier that there has never been an election in Nigeria. Because that's supposed to be the only election that we could make reference to. Now, which election can you make reference to? Is it the one of 1999? Or the one that brought Yaradua to office? Or the one that removed Jonathan out of office? We saw it and everything. But the point we are trying to make here is this. Right now, we want to thank the INEC right now for the bold step and the the will to make sure that things are done rightly. Now, but having said that, I want to tell the political class who thinks that it's all about 10,000 or 5,000 to buy the riches of Nigeria. Now, it's not going to be like that in 2023. Now, I've said this before, please, and I want to beg masses, and I'm repeating it again. On election day, if you see any Ghana must go, be coordinated by 2 or 3 persons sharing money with a list and everything. And some of you are about 15 or 20 in that polling unit or 30. You don't need to vote and go and collect your money. 20 of you, invade that Ghana must go. It's your money. Invade it. Don't even allow the person to share it. All of you share it within yourself. And I bet you the same person has nobody to call that would not come and question why there was money in polling unit, because it's not part and parcel of the statutory system of election. So the same thing I'm also telling INEC, because this vote buying actually do not have a constitutional backup that we can use to curb it. It's not there. Even the electoral act is not there. There is no way to actually checkmate the mechanism. You don't know who is giving, and you don't know this party will say is this party will say is this party. So the only way we will now know is our money. So everybody, if you are 20, 30, you see anybody sharing money, invade that money, collect that money, is your money. Don't even debate, then vote for your choice. Now, the point I'm trying to make, yes, there will be money because we know these people. Many of them, see, let me tell you, many of the political class that we have today cannot even run a kiosk. That's why they don't do other business. They remain in politics and they will forever remain in politics. They cannot even run a kiosk successfully for 10 years without that kiosk crashing down. They can't run a business. So the only business that they know is that invest in politics, then get out of the politics. That's why they can do anything within their power to remain in power. Most of these people asking for your vote now, what have they done? Which business can you attribute to them that they've done over the years successfully outside politics? Now you come to me that run his own small business, and for 20 years I run my business, or 15 years I've been running my business. That little one that I'm getting to feed my family and everything, you are over invading it. And you come back to me again after 4 years, you want to give me 10,000 naira. See, please, market women, bus drivers, artisans, everybody involved in Nigeria politics. If you are giving 10,000 and you vote, don't complain after 6 months.
Thank you very much. Andre, taking the discussion further. I just said something, and you can see how emotional Dr. Maxwell has been. Because the politicians, you are the president of United in Democracy, a pressure group. Now the politicians know what Nigerians like. Nigerians, once it's time for election, they are looking, where is the money? Who is going to give us money? Who is going to, they'll be looking. But people are saying, no, don't do that again. Do you think that will work in Nigeria? So what's your take on the 2023 election?
There are so many factors that determines when a politician wins an election.
Yes.
One, money is involved. Tribe. Religion. Are you getting it?
Yes.
Let me take it one after the other. They are taking that of money. Fine. In some situations, money might not be able to induce some set of persons, but some set of persons, money can induce them, depending on your financial background, where you are coming from. There are some families, they can't eat. They did not eat even before they went to that polling booth, and you are parading 10,000 before them, and they came with 5 of them, the father, the mother, with 3 children, 50,000. They want to tell them that one to cop that they don't know, and the person will not recognize them. They will want to vote for that person. Consider it, depending on their amount. That's why I said not all can be induced, but certain percentage can be induced. They will go into the tribal aspect of it. You know what removed Jonathan from power? It was tribal politics. When about 5, 6 serving governors left PDP for APC because of the initial agreement they had that Jonathan was supposed to do 1 term. Now he's coming for another term, they said no. 5 or 6 governors moved to APC, and that was what cost Jonathan power. So based on the fact that they are northerners, That is where tribe comes in. And you and I know that in this country, majority of the people, they come from the northeast or the northern part of this country and the southwest, and so on that day, you don't win elections on social media. Let me tell you, an average Northerner has a phone, and that phone may be maximum Nokia 2310. He or she has no access to social media. All they want to hear on that day is cash. They will start mentioning their candidate's name. Try for this. Do you want them to take, like what transpired in PDP primaries? So what happened there? During the primaries, that was why Wike said, even if I don't win, I will support anybody that will win, because strategically, by his own calculation, he has won. But it was right there on the primaries that certain things changed hands. Tribe. Remember, Atiku left the hall, the stadium. He went out. Nobody knows what he went out to do. Came back, Tambuwa withdrew from the race. All the votes of Tambuwa that was supposed to be for Tambuwa went straight to Atiku. Is that not tribe? That's tribal politics. So it cannot be ruled out. Their religion, I don't know statistically the Christians and the Muslims who is more in this country. And that has a role to play, whether you like it or not. The Christians are clamoring now for, we want to change. Maybe the person they are clamoring for is a Christian. Fine. So those are sentiments. Let us watch. When the real campaign starts, then you will know that tribe play an important role.
But Nigeria is one.
We are one with more than 2,000 tribes. If you are one, go and contest in the north, and I do not, and we want to go to House of Assembly because we are one. I made an attempt. My mother is Benin, my father is Isha. I was born and brought up in Benin here. I made an attempt to go to House of Assembly thinking that, if you cannot play from your father's side, you can play from your mother's side. What did they tell me? He said, go to Isha. That we're talking about. So, tribe has a very big role, even more than the financial inducements. Look at that angle. And that is where I think the so-called popular candidate now will fail when it comes to that tribe. And betrayal. At times you will think you are popular in your town. If you watch the gladiators from the southwest now, they are even telling their son, you are not ripe enough. Their own people. I can categorically quote Oju Zokani. He told Obi, you are not ripe enough to be president. Even Ekweremadu, the day before he was arrested, he said it categorically. These are gladiators, these are big.
It could be personal to them. It could be personal to them. They can't speak for other Nigerians.
Listen, Ekweremadu has been in the Senate for 20 years. It's not by appointment, it's through election, so he has the crowd.
Thank you very much.
No,
time is not our friend, but for your closing remark, Reverend Oduaziri, closing remark.
Well, I pray, and I'm pleading to the masses over there.
Yes.
Let God take control of their conscience. Okay. Because at the time of the present governor, Governor Obaseki, okay. God disgraced dollars.
In Edo State.
In Edo State. God disgraced the owner of bucket and allow who holds basket to succeed. People should not follow money. Because already, like we have contributed, both of us, we realize, one, they have bastardized the nation. They can make everybody to be poor so that they can bring their 10 naira or whatever and bring Gary, go on at the days. People should vote conscious. Who can leave them off from these problems? The Kogomayas will find ourselves. We are in an oppressive situation. They should vote their conscience. Market women, they should wake up. Because even of recent, some of them see trek to airport to begin to break kukuse. Welcome, whatever. And they came there with hunger. So people should shun food, tribal matter, and vote that man who will deliver them.
Thank you very much, sir. A quick one, Dr. Masu, quick one.
See, religion will not put food on your table.
Okay.
Neither will tribe put food on your table. Now, what these politicians are doing, they use all these things as a mechanism to whip sentiment that will never be part and parcel of your future. Now, if you are sensible enough, you should know that they are not in there for your interest. whichever way, I think it has gotten to the zenith right now in Nigeria, where youth, because with the call we are seeing across the north and everywhere right now, is a call to duty.
Thank you, Dr.
Let's do the needful.
Thank you very much. I want to thank my guests. Wonderful. Time is not always our friend of the program. You can see that there's so much to talk about. But we just have to call it a day. And next week, we will continue to look at other issues affecting the development of Nigeria. You have a wonderful weekend ahead.